Have you ever been absolutely sure about something only to find out later that it never happened? Maybe you remember a conversation, a childhood moment, or even a fantasy, but there's zero proof it ever existed. Creepy, right? But here's the twist: your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It fills in gaps, rewrites, details, and edits reality like a movie director. Because your brain doesn't care about accuracy. It cares about survival. And if a false memory keeps you safe, confident, or emotionally stable, it will manufacture it without hesitation. So the real question isn't, do I have fake memories? It's how many, and what does that mean about who you think you are? Think about this. Your memory isn't a hard drive. It's a storyteller. Every time you access a memory, you're not replaying it or rebuilding it, adding new emotions, beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. So that vacation you remember as magical, maybe it wasn't. Maybe you reconstructed it years later to feel better about your past, and your brain rewarded you because emotionally comforting memories increase psychological stability. And guess what? That's why eyewitness testimonies can be terrifyingly unreliable. People swear they saw a red car. When it was blue, they invent details no one mentioned, not because they're lying, but because their brain wants a complete narrative. It hates unfinished puzzles. Now, imagine this happening thousands of times throughout your life. A teacher who never actually yelled at you, a heartbreak you exaggerated, a childhood fear that didn't start the way you remember. Your identity is built on stories, not facts. And the wild part, the brain genuinely believes these fabrications, fake memories, activate the same regions as real memory. So your brain can tell the difference, which means your confidence, your anxiety, your relationships may be shaped by events that never actually occurred. And yet, to you, they feel undeniable. That's the power of internal storytelling. But why does the brain do this? Simple efficiency. Your brain processes millions of pieces of information every second. It can't store everything, so it compresses, summarizes, edits, and deletes, like a phone clearing storage automatically. Memories with emotional weight stay. Neutral ones fade, and missing details get replaced with whatever makes sense. Your brain chooses meaning over precision, and we call that the memory illusion. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. The human mind would rather be confidently wrong than uncertain, because uncertainty feels dangerous. So the brain chooses the story that feels safest. Want proof? The Mandela Effect. Millions of people swear they remember Pikachu with a black tail, or the Monopoly man with a monocle, or Luke, I am your father. But none of those memories are real. They feel real because they're culturally reinforced. Shared assumptions create collective false realities. And when enough people believe the same error, the brain automatically labels it as truth. Social validation overrides factual accuracy. That's how fake memories spread through trust, familiarity, and repetition, not evidence. And this explains something deeper: why arguments about what really happened feel so personal. When someone challenges your memory, they're not attacking an event. They're attacking your identity. Your brain interprets disagreement as a threat, so even when proven wrong, you defend your version, because the memory doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your self-image. That's why siblings remember the same childhood differently. They weren't storing facts, they were storing feelings, and feelings rewrite history. But here's what almost no one admits: your brain can invent memories to justify your choices. If you regret a relationship, your brain might exaggerate the bad moments. If you admire someone, it may romanticize your interactions. If you're ashamed, it may erase the details completely. Memory protects your ego. You don't remember your life objectively. You remember the version that hurts the least or benefits you the most. And the scariest part, you'll never know which memories are real and which ones were edited. And this has massive consequences. People go to therapy over memories that never happened the way they remember. Friendships end because someone recalls an insult that wasn't said. Families break apart over distorted past events. The brain doesn't need evidence to create emotional truth. It only needs belief. And once belief settles, memory rearranges itself to match. Because the brain prefers cognitive harmony, it can't stand unresolved contradictions. So it rewrites your past to justify your present, silent, automatic, invisible. So what actually triggers a false memory? Suggestion, imagination, repetition. Someone tells you a story about yourself, funny, embarrassing, dramatic, and suddenly you remember it too, even if you weren't there. The brain confuses imagination with experience. Visualization activates the same neural pathways as memory storage. That's why athletes use mental rehearsal. The brain treats it like reality. Powerful, right? But dangerous too, because the more you replay a story even incorrectly, the more real it becomes. And technology has amplified this effect. Photos, videos, social media captions, they influence memories retroactively. You might remember a concert as incredible because the pictures looked happy, even if you were exhausted, stressed, or bored. You might remember a breakup differently after seeing someone else's opinion online. Modern life edits the past continuously, and we rarely notice because we trust external narratives more than internal ones, especially when they look polished, filtered, or socially approved. But here's the twist. Most people never consider fake memories aren't always bad. Sometimes they help you grow, heal, move forward. If believing you were stronger than you were gives you confidence, the brain will reinforce it. If softening a traumatic memory prevents emotional collapse, the brain will blur details. Memory protects you, even if the protection isn't rooted in truths. So maybe the value of a memory isn't its accuracy, but its impact. Maybe the goal was never to remember perfectly. Maybe it was to survive meaningfully. Still, awareness matters, because if you don't question your memories, you become controlled by them. You react to ghosts instead of reality. You judge people based on imagined past versions. You treat assumptions as evidence, and your future becomes limited by stories that never happened. So the real power isn't in remembering it, in observing your memory with curiosity, asking, is this true? So here's a challenge. Think of a memory you're emotionally attached to. Now ask yourself, have I verified it, or have I just repeated it? Did I witness it, or did someone tell me about it? Have I filled in missing details over time? It's about understanding that your brain isn't a camera. It's a meaning-making machine. And meaning requires creativity, even when it distorts reality. If memories can be inaccurate, then identity becomes flexible. And that's liberating. You're not limited by who you think you were. You can rewrite your internal narrative intentionally. Instead of letting your brain do it unconsciously, you can choose new interpretations, new lessons, new emotional framing. Because the past isn't just what happened, it's what you believe about what happened. And beliefs can change. That's the real power hidden inside memory's imperfections. So next time you're certain about something, pause. Certainty isn't evidence. Confidence isn't accuracy. Familiarity isn't truth. Your brain will always choose the version of reality that feels safest, most coherent, and most emotionally aligned. And that means sometimes it lies not maliciously, but protectively, because memory isn't designed to record your life. It's designed to help you live it. And sometimes fiction feels more useful than fact. And now, here's the final question, the one most people avoid. If your memories aren't always real, then who are you, really? Are you a collection of facts or a collection of stories? Maybe identity isn't something you remember, but something you create continuously, actively, consciously. And if that's true, then your power doesn't come from the past. It comes from what you choose to believe next. So stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop questioning the stories inside your mind. Because the truth isn't always what you remember. If this message hits you harder than expected, share it with someone who needs it. And if you want more videos that challenge what you think you know, you already know what to do. Subscribe. Because your brain may forget this moment someday, but your future self will thank you for remembering it today.